My name is Paul Jansz. It's great to be back. And again, thank you for all of you for joining us today. We're here thanks to Profitmaster Global Outsourcing, your premium offshore solution. Let me introduce you to our first guest. It's again our Masterclass brilliant mind, Torey Hensel. Welcome. How are you, mate?
Hey guys, hey Paul, thank you so much for the warm intro.
Are you okay to share a little bit about you, given your experience, certainly in the professional services industry, before we kick off with our topic?
Yeah, okay. I guess my background, I started my career in financial services around 14 years ago now, which is a bit scary. I was a financial advisor for 5 years before moving into the mortgage broking space.
Okay.
Realized I didn't like talking to superannuation companies, and then I didn't want to talk to banks anymore. So worked my way into a property investment role within a financial services organization, and from there have worked within a few larger organizations, I guess bringing together the services that those organizations offer clients in a sort of one-stop shop, more cohesive and palatable service offering for clients. So holding their hand, walking them through each step of what they need to do and achieve to get ahead financially. And that's the 2 minutes of the last 14 years. So
Mate, let's talk about the subject heading. Why do you believe growing revenue in the accounting industry is a problem, or, as the subject heading says, a dilemma?
we're currently in very interesting times at the moment as financial services professionals. And at Tomorrow Consulting, we see two main challenges that professional services or the professional services industry is currently facing: technology and value. So, technology meaning the advancements that we're seeing of AI and automation, and value being the sort of what does providing value look like at a time when the technological solutions are getting better and cheaper and staff are getting more expensive. So in some respects, it's never been easier to grow a financial services firm, and in some respects, it's never been more difficult. So it's a bit of an interesting time, and the real challenge, as we see it, is how do firms adapt in a way that allows them to harness the IQ intelligence part of AI, which is the where the technology is strongest, and leverage the EQ emotional intelligence part of their business to provide a better client experience. No matter how quickly technology changes, it's not going to override the last 200,000 years of social evolution. So we're always going to want to have a human involved in the process to some degree. If for no other reason, then it's very difficult to hold a machine accountable if something is to go wrong. So AI will eliminate parts of financial services jobs, but that opens doors to other parts, and those other parts are what firms are really going to need to turn their focus towards, at least in our view.
Let's talk about the tech landscape that you just mentioned then, and let's talk about the impact on professional services. And we've used accounting, so let's talk professional services accounting, and the need to, let's call it, adapt to becoming more strategic in providing solutions to clients. How do you think that this should become about?
It's a subject very close to my heart. I have sort of been one of the early adopters, I think, and Tomorrow Consulting is built around the technology that is not just here right now, but is here to come, or that is going to sort of change the landscape in financial services. So I think most professional services firms are unfortunately asleep at the wheel when it comes to the big tech changes that are just around the corner. So the big breakthrough over the last 5 years, and I'll take a step back,
Yep.
is the advancement of GPTs. So these GPTs are generative pre-trained transformers. Generative meaning that they generate text on pre-trained information like the internet. Transformers are the special computers that understand the relationship between words so that they can generate a custom response that sounds pretty natural. They don't just regurgitate what they've learned. They actually can understand the context of the words. And that's the big change that we've seen over the last 5 years. Now, this is important to understand because this is the technology that will replace a large portion of what we do as financial services professionals. Once you have a system like a GPT, because it auto-generates statistical relationships, as you add more layers of data and abstraction into the network, it just continues to improve. So just using this base technology that exists, it is a almost 100%, let's say 99.9% certainty that somewhere in the realm of 30 to 60% of current financial services tasks, and I know Thomas Reuters and Carbon Group have done some good research here, 30 to 60% of current financial services tasks will be completely automated. And we're talking within a 5-year time frame.
Yep.
And it's not even a stretch to say that in 18 months, we'll have access to AI employees who are specifically trained in our businesses. So we're in for some pretty crazy tech changes.
From an adaptability point of view, making sure that professional service firms providing more strategic based solutions to clients. What's your thought process on that?
I guess the main point or the overarching point that I want to stress is that AI will eliminate part of a lot of jobs, but then it'll open up the door to other parts. So those other parts are really what firms are going to need to turn their focus towards.
Thanks for joining us. And Torey, once again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
See you later.